You know, it's been a while since we had some Compaq systems on the bench, and what better way to rectify that than with these two mid to late 90s desktops. I'm even wearing Compaq red for just such an occasion. And by the way, allergy season has hit me like a ton of bricks, so my voice might sound kind of funny in some parts of this video. Apologies in advance for that, but let's tear into these. Starting with the DeskPro. The DeskPro is Compaq's enterprise-oriented line of systems, or at least one of them. I see we have the classic asymmetrical swoosh on the faceplate. Can you tell this was the 90s? And I see there's some kind of something stuck in that floppy drive. I thought it was some kind of creepy crawly thing at first, but that's definitely a spring. Let's see if I can get it out of there. Okay, that is some kind of heatsink clip, and that certainly didn't come from this system. You know, something tells me that's not the original CD-ROM drive. Compaq sometimes uses gray accents, but this seems a little much. I don't know, this looks kind of like an HP drive. And it has an ultra-satisfying power switch. That switch actually disconnects mains voltage, this being an AT system and all. And Intel is inside, specifically an Intel Pentium 1. And here we are at the back. I see we're pretty sparse as far as ports go. We just have a single serial port there, PS2 keyboard and mouse ports of course, parallel port, and onboard VGA. But hey, at least we have a sound card, and a dial-up modem, why not? This is the pre-USB era, so I'm not surprised that's missing. Alright, let's get this thing open. See, we have these two giant thumb screws on each side. And with those out, should be good to slide. Well, I guess not. This one's going to need some prying. There we go. Man, look at the size of that CPU heatsink. It extends all the way to the midpoint of the 3.5-inch drive bays. It is definitely the longest Pentium cooler I've ever seen. I guess that's how they got around not having a CPU fan. And I see we have a hard drive and a full complement of SIM RAM. This thing's loaded. And luckily we do have PCI in here. It's kind of funny that it has a PCI modem. Let's get that out of there. And it's made by Creative. Interestingly enough, I know Creative had a product called Modem Blasters. Aha, this is indeed a modem blaster. That's an awfully creative name. And the sound card is an ESS audio drive. Let's get a good look at that. An ES1868F to be exact. I'm not all that familiar with Compaq stickers, but I don't think this is original. And here's something I don't see very often. These SIM slots operate like DIMM slots. Got these little tabs that pull out. Those are far more comfortable than the traditional SIM slot clips. Wow, that's a 32 meg stick. That's a lot for this era. That means this thing is loaded with memory. With the chips made by Nanya. Nanya Business. Let's see, the next one looks identical. Yep, indeed it is. So we're up to 64 megs. Well, somebody was rich. But the next two are different. Let's see how different they are. Ah, now the clips are failing me. And that is a mystery stick. No convenient indication of size or speed. But I see it's made by PNY, so I wonder which of these sticks are OEM. I wonder if any of them are. And that stick looks identical to the last one. Yep, sure is. Same, though considerably dirtier. Okay, let's go ahead and remove this riser. I'm also going to remove this upper bar because it looks like it's going to interfere. That seems simple enough. And there we go. Save for a few dust bunnies. It's pretty clean. We also have PCI and ISA on the back here. Okay, let's go ahead and clear out these cables. And hey, I see we have a Coast module in there. Coast stands for Cache on a Stick, and that is certainly Compaq original. Okay, let's get this drive cage out of our way. Rather inconveniently, it looks like the faceplate has to come off, so let's do that. Seems like we just have a bunch of clips. Let's see if we can get it off in one piece. Okay, what's it hanging up on? Okay, there we go. There was an inaccessible clip above the power switch, so that was fun. But at least nothing broke. Always happy about that. And I see they were kind enough to give us a full set of these shoulder screws for mounting the drives. And it looks like these drives can slide out the front, but I would rather remove the entire cage. So that's what we're going to do. There we go. Now I can get out that weird CPU cooler. I've never seen one that extended so far past the socket. And as advertised, Intel Pentium 1, and I'm pleased to see they actually used some thermal paste. So many people didn't on those chips back in the day, although they didn't use very much. Let's get that chip out of there, just to have a look. Yeah, no trouble on any of those pins. I'm just going to get that back in there before that dust gets into anything else. Let's give that dust a good sweeping and give that chip a good cleaning. Yeah, I can tell that thermal paste is old. Stuff's petrified. And I'd love to know why Compaq insisted on using these soldered batteries. Hopefully, if the stars align, I'll be able to solder on a regular CR2032 socket. If not, this board does have a header for an external battery, because I'm pretty sure that one is super dead. Kinda super ultra dead. Let's go ahead and get this board out of here and see. Let's get that battery thing off the board, using our desoldering alloy, of course. Yeah, normally stuff like this just falls off the board, but this thing has too many legs. But it came off super easy though. And the battery holder did fit, though I had to cock it over a bit. It'll still work fine. And if you're like me and you enjoy weird circuit board manufacturing anomalies, you should get a kick out of this. Look at the way they messed up on the solder mask here. It's like there was some excess that dribbled off to the side here. Yeah, for some reason I felt compelled to point that out. Okay, let's get that monster heatsink back on. That thing is ridiculous. I guess they had to make do with what little airflow they had. And everything else is installed and de-dustified. We are done with the motherboard. So let's move on to the drives. The hard drive is a 1.2 gig Seagate Metalist, and I don't see an obvious manufacture date. Do you? I'm gonna guess 1997, since we have two strings that start with 97, but it's definitely a Compaq original. Let's get it wiped off. And that Compaq original floppy drive is made by Mitsubishi, model MF355F, manufactured February 1997. These drives do have a custom rounded eject button, so good luck finding that if your DeskPro is missing its floppy drive. The door at least seems standard. Okay, let's get this thing open because I'm pretty sure it's a mess inside. And yep, I figured it would be a mess. Everything else in this system is incredibly dusty. Let's sweep it out. Now let's clean those heads. Yeah, that was definitely needed. Now I've got to re-grease this thing in a few strategic points. Let's clean off the rest of that old grease. Now let's just do a quick cromulence check of the disk eject mechanism. Works great. And that CD-ROM drive is indeed not a Compaq original part. This was harvested from an HP. And it's made to Hewlett-Packard standards. The actual manufacturer is TIAC, model CD-532E, manufactured July 1998. And it definitely has the weight of a quality drive. It is surprisingly heavy. Okay, moving on to the Sparky. It is a Compaq original part, but otherwise it's just a regular old AT power supply. Easily replaceable if it's no good. So let's find out how no good it is. And rather conveniently, this power supply has a holder for my light bulb. You just can't beat that. Okay, we're looking okay. Let's give that sufficient time to die. Alright, 5 minutes should have been long enough to die, and it didn't. So I guess we're good. Okay, now it is time to test. Let's hope that hard drive is any good. Here we go. Well, it's spinning up and it's posting. Sounds like the hard drive initialized. We got all kinds of complaints. Okay, we're good with that. Does this thing really have 128 megs of memory? That's pretty crazy for this time period. Okay, I'm happy with the defaults. Save changes. It really wants me to set the date and time. But you know what, let's do that anyway. That'll help me identify which timestamps are real. Computer setup. Uh-oh. Why did it go straight to the OS? Oh, that's interesting. It booted to Compaq Utilities through MS-DOS. Let's see, do we have a mouse? No, we don't have a mouse. Okay, guess we're doing keyboard stuff. Computer setup. There we go. This thing's gonna be so confused. Let's see if you like that. Close enough. Okay. Retrieving information. I thought you would be storing information. Oh, now the mouse works. Yeah, that thing really has 128 megs of memory. That's pretty crazy. Okay, that all looks good. And there's nothing else I want to change in here, so let's get out. How come the mouse only works inside the utility? Exit. Do it. And we are booting Windows 98. That hard drive sounds good, too. Ooh, had an improper shutdown. Good and crunchy. Just the way I like it. Oh no, plug and pray. My fake monitor always trips it up. Alright, go through all your stuff. That floppy drive sounds rough. Next. Finish. Hey, sound card works. Listen to that crunchiness. I could listen to that all day. Okay, let's see what we have on here. What's in junk? Yeah, I'd say I'd agree with that assertion. Certainly looks like junk to me. And I see they had Comcast high-speed internet. I had a suspicion that the missing peripheral card was a NIC. Now I'm even more suspicious. Alright, what else do we have on here? AOL for broadband. That was AOL clinging for dear life. Yeah, not a whole lot of stuff. Looks like just a home/small office computer. What is simply bitware? Must be some kind of dialer. Okay. That's helpful. Guess we're not seeing that. Well, let's see what kind of state AOL was in. AOL 7.0. You know, it still gets me, seeing that splash screen. Yeah, they were definitely using it. Multiple people. Let's see if they have any favorites. Looks like all the default stuff. Look at all the great things you could do with AOL. Okay, let's get out of here. You know, I want to see this thing at least try to sign on for once. Let's just keyboard mash a password and just see. Yeah, that's what I wanted to see. Oh no. It's not happy with my modem. The modem's definitely in there. Aw, I thought we'd at least hear some modem clickiness. Oh well. let's get out of here. Let's see if they were using AIM. They sure were. Several people. Let's see what version of Word that is. Word 2000. With no sign of Clippy. Ooh, what is that? That's that floppy drive. Sounds awfully sick. Alright, let's get out of here. Let's see. Is there anything we missed? Real Player? How'd I miss that? Yeah, it's on there. And they never registered it. And now they never can. Cancel that. Go away. Oh yeah, I guess I should increase the color depth, shouldn't I? Why not? That was a little stuttery. Let's see if I can't break my video capture. True color. Do it. Sure. Oh, that's way too big. Let's fix that resolution. Make it more comfortable for the people. Can we do that? Let's see. No? I guess not. That is our limit. I guess we'll have to settle for a 16-bit at 800 by 600. Sure. Okay, good enough. That's probably easier to see anyway. Thank you, Real Player, for shaming our teeny tiny video memory. What else do we have? Advanced sound. This must be just one of those audio programs. Aww, that's strange. Sound works fine. Well, we got a brief glimpse of it. Oh well. Hasbro Interactive. That's got to be a game. 2 games. Scrabble and the Game of Life. Let's see if that runs. Nope. Figured not. Wonder if Scrabble would run without a CD. How big could Scrabble possibly be? Big enough, apparently. Okay, let's see what's on the root of that drive. And that thing is slam full. 47 megabytes free. And that's the reason why those games required CDs. It wasn't just copy protection back then. They really needed it. Install ICQ. I remember ICQ. I'm surprised it's not installed already. And I doubt we have enough hard drive space for it, so let's not do that. And Winamp. There's an awful lot of installers on this drive. Okay, no, I gotta try to install Winamp. This file's from 2003. Do it. Sure, do your thing. Stop bugging me. Yeah, you're not getting there. Run Winamp. Oh man. I haven't seen this in forever. Quit trying to connect the stuff. Let's see if it plays the demo.
Winamp, Winamp. Llama tested. Mother approved.
I forgot about that. Yeah, that nostalgia hit definitely was worth installing this. Let's close that. Okay, let's try to find some timestamps. See how long this thing was being used. Obviously all the way up to 2003. So far we're up to October 2003. Let's see if the documents have anything newer. There's October 27th. That's a little bit newer. Let's see if there's anything newer in the Windows directory. And that is a no. Well, I guess late 2003 it is. Okay, let's see if that floppy drive is as unhealthy as it sounds. It can't possibly be as unhealthy as I sound right now. Ooh, that is not good. And I'd say it is not working. Yeah, no good. For some reason it sounds like the heads are stuck. And that's strange because I definitely moved them. Well, maybe we'll come back to that. How about the CD drive? Well, at least it opens right up. And it's surprisingly dust-free. And it does work. We are auto-running. Let's not install AOL. Exit. This is an older version anyway. You should know this. Alright, CD drive works great. Good old TIAC. Must be those HP specifications at work. Okay, well let's drop down the DOS mode and scan disk that hard drive. Looks like the file system's clean. Man, that thing is full. And we are good. That Seagate Medalist definitely deserves its medal. Okay, let's see if we can figure out what's bugging the floppy drive. According to our lead screw grease distribution, the heads didn't make it very far. So let's get a boot disk in there and see what it's doing. Power on. It's not doing very much. Just seems like it doesn't even want to move. It is starting to boot DOS, oddly enough, even with that little tiny bit of movement. So let's shut it back down. I'm going to manually advance those heads. Yeah, they're not mechanically stuck. Let's just see if it parks itself. Okay, it does do that. It does sound like it's sticking somewhere. Maybe it just needs some more exercise. Ah, there we go. Things are starting to happen. It still sounds awful. I'm going to try greasing the little support bar on this side. Maybe that's what it needs. Yeah, there it goes. It's working great now. And it did fully boot DOS. Alright, I'd say that drive's fixed. Okay, let's go ahead and start case cleanup, starting with the faceplate. It's in reasonably good condition. We do have a few little nicks here and there, like in these corners here. But overall, I think it'll clean up pretty nicely. Let's just start with some basic Windex. Yeah, it didn't turn out too bad. That did reveal a few more nicks though. But what are you gonna do? The thing was e-waste. That just gives it character. Now let's clean up the top side. Alright, not too bad. We do have some paint issues. Got some nicks and scratches here and there. Not too terrible. Yeah, enterprise-grade Compaq is hard to beat, especially in the 90s. These things were built to last, and last they did. I can't believe all this thing needed was a battery replacement and some floppy drive grease. And what were they doing with 128 megs of RAM? That is a crazy amount for 1997. I'm definitely not keeping all that in there. We've got to spread that wealth around. Let's move on to the next system. Now let's take a look at the consumer grade side of things. The Presario 2254. This is very similar to the 2240 I did a while back. The difference is the 2240 had integrated stereo speakers here and there, and you'll also notice the lack of power switch. These systems only have a standby button, so I'm pretty sure they only support soft power off, or sleep mode. This was still before the widespread adoption of ACPI, so it's kind of like a ghetto version of ACPI. On these systems, the power supply just runs all the time, which probably explains why the power supply was dead in the 2240. So I'm curious to see how dead it is in this system. And that CD-ROM drive looks absolutely original to the system, because it's a perfect color match to the floppy drive. And we have a fairly well-preserved Windows 98 badge. Looks like it's just dirty. We'll have to see. And having a look around the back, this thing has it all. Definitely a home gamer's paradise. It even has onboard USB. That's interesting to see in a machine of this age. And we have an Ethernet NIC. So somebody was surfing the information superhighway with some broadband. Very fancy. And there's the only way to actually turn this system off, the switch on the power supply. There may be some hidden feature somewhere to get us to do that in software, but I couldn't find it on the 2240. Either way, it's a strange design choice from the pre-ACPI era. Okay, let's get this thing open. That serial number sticker is holding on for dear life. I'm going to leave it on there. And we're not sliding easily. Yeah, we're going to have to get the pry tool involved. I think this case might be slightly tweaked. Like maybe it took a hit or something. There we go. Well, not quite. Come on, we're so close. There we go. The 2240 was much easier to get apart. But we are surprisingly clean in here. Surprising because that power supply fan will be running all the time, unless somebody was always hitting that switch. And hey, we got a hard drive in here. Hopefully it's a Seagate Medalist, or at least as good. Alright, let's start clearing these cables out. And this system has that same weird air duct that cools the CPU with the power supply fan. That is the only fan in the entire system. And yeah, I am loving the lack of dust in this thing. There's just a very light coating. And here's another oddity with these systems. They have onboard DIMM RAM, with the option to expand with a single DIMM slot. Yeah, I don't see DIMM soldered to motherboards very often. At least not nearly as often as I see SIM chips soldered to motherboards. And hey, we got our cache on a stick module for our CPU cache. 256 kilobytes, Compaq original. And just mildly dusty. Now let's check out these peripheral cards. Compaq original dial-up modem from 1997, and that's most likely the year this system was built. Now I'll see that nick. That has got to be aftermarket. And yeah, it looks like your standard ultra cheap NIC that you'd find in a computer store at the time. Got the Wacom LAN connector there. Most likely 10100. And yeah, no Compaq stickers. It definitely looks post-90s anyway. And I guess this motherboard is codenamed Sandstorm. Compaq always had little cutesy internal nicknames for their motherboards. And this big slugger is the audio amplifier IC, with that big old heatsink. So this system doesn't require powered speakers. And driving that is an ESS audio drive, ES1887F. That's a nice thing to have on board. And working the video side, we have an S3 Verge DX. It gets the job done. And to puzzle us even more about that soft power on option, this motherboard takes standard AT power. AT power supplies can't be electronically switched, at least not easily, and not in any standard fashion. They don't have a power on signal like ATX power supplies have, so this thing is receiving full power all the time, even when it's quote-unquote off. Oh no, it's just so weird to me. Okay, let's check out those brains. Oh, it's an AMD K6. I was fully expecting there to be a Pentium in there. That's surprising. I'm thinking it must be factory because it has that same mere whiff of thermal paste that the last system had. That seems to be a Compaq hallmark. Let's clean off those 5 molecules of thermal paste. Let's just pull that thing out of there, just for a pin check. Got some weird discoloration at the base of these pins. What's that all about? There's also a little bit up here. That's weird. It almost looks like flux. It's not something I've ever seen on a CPU before. I'm going to see if it cleans off with IPA. Okay, that was a more than reasonable amount of scrubbing. It doesn't seem any different. I don't know. I suppose it's not hurting anything. I think I'll just leave it like that. Okay, let's get this power supply out of our way so we can pull that drive cage. And there's just 3 screws standing between us and full drive cage freedom. 2 up top and 1 down here. And just look at this thoughtfulness. They notched the top of the drive cage to accommodate our screwdriver so we can get to that screw down there. I swear, we just don't deserve some people. That is top notch. And with those out, this just slides back. Though clearances are awfully tight. I suppose I should disconnect that front panel connector. And the floppy drive is made by NEC, model FD1231T from 1998. Compaq original, of course. And the only thing really special about it is that funny Pinocchio-looking eject button. I suppose if you're hunting a floppy drive for one of these systems, you could 3D print that. Let's get this thing open and give it some service. And no surprise, it's remarkably clean. I'm not sure what this stuff is. Probably just some grease or something. Let's clean those heads. Good, good. And let's freshen up all the grease. A greasy drive is a happy drive. Just got to be careful around that little track 0 sensor down there. And the hard drive is a Seagate Medalist, 4 gigabytes. Seems to have been made in 1998. At least that date code seems to track. Let's see if it can live up to its anecdotal reputation. And the CD-ROM drive is made by Light On. Compaq original 32-speed drive. And it's got some heft to it, so maybe that means it's a good one. Manufactured April 1998. It's an April baby like me. Now, moving on to the power supply. I had no luck with the power supply in the 2240. Either it just worked too hard or it hardly worked. And I'm not expecting a miracle from this one either. It feels pretty janky. It is concerningly light for a power supply. It really feels like 50% of the weight of it is in the cables here. And lack of weight usually means low quality power supply, at least in my experience. Well, let's see if it works at all. Let's see what you got. You've got nothing. So either these systems are really hard on power supplies or it's taking some kind of non-standard power on signal. I don't know of any such thing on the AT standard. And I'm guessing it's the latter because we do have standby voltage. We might just need to risk it. Okay, let's just make sure that battery's dead. Wait, what? Full charge? You're telling me this system was actually maintained? We're definitely going to have to try to figure out how long this thing was being used for. Let's hope that hard drive works. And this is kind of crazy. I was dedustifying that heatsink, and I found this little sliver of aluminum in there. Guess the factory wasn't doing a very good job cleaning those. Well, that could have been bad if it ended up in the wrong spot. And it is paper thin, too. That is wild. Alright, let's play CPU dress up. Okay, will that power supply be the end of us? Let's see. Okay, well, it turns on. And it is posting. And it is booting. I'm starting to think those Seagate Medalists are reliable. It sounds great, too. It initialized without any fuss at all. I love that mouse cursor. Uh-oh. Okay. I guess Plug and Pray really hates this capture device. Let's see if we can get through this. Maybe. Let's see. Sure, give it a try. I think we're going to be okay. Maybe. Finish. Okay, since we got the BSOD, I might as well reboot. See if that happens again. Okay, no BSOD, so maybe not. Ah, I wonder what's doing that. Let's see if we can just get through it again. Maybe we can just continue. Don't care about the clock. Okay, that's pretty impressive. It was able to keep the date. Remember, I didn't change that battery. However, the time is way off, and that's because clocks inside of computers cannot keep perfect time. Just like an analog clock, over a long enough period there will be considerable drift. Network-connected computers combat this by syncing with an NTP or a network time protocol server. We'll just go with that. Alright, we got sound. And Age of Empires. I remember that game. That is one lovely sounding hard drive. Netscape AOL Instant Messenger? Sign me up. How about no? Okay, I think all the junk is loaded. What is this? Compaq service connection. Let's see if we have the connection still. Oh wow, it's got a history of the updates that were installed. Do we have dates on these? What is going on? What is happening? Okay. Well, it played us a little song, and we got a little spinny Compaq cue. What happens if I click that? Extra mile maintenance. What is this quick shelf thing? Can this go away? Thank you. Ah, I didn't mean to make that go away. Oh well. You know, I am tempted to run an Ethernet connection out here and see if this connects. Let's put a pin in that for now. I love this sound scheme. That's coming through well on the microphone. That's silly. What is this? Easy access button support. Oh, that's for those keyboard shortcut buttons. I don't have an era-appropriate Compaq keyboard for this. Well, of course I'm going to try to run Age of Empires. It probably wants a CD, though. Yep. That I don't have. What is Femilit Tree Slationate? It's a chart. I have a feeling I'm going to have to do some blurring. Yep, names everywhere. I guess this is what people did before Ancestry.com was a thing. Let's get out of here. What else do we have? The Learning Company, eh? Reader Rabbit 3. And a whole bunch of other kid stuff. Pretty sure all that stuff needs a CD, so I'm not even going to try. What is Moto Racer? Let's see if that runs. Yeah, it's trying to. Yeah, it sure does. Well, at least the intro does. We don't have any sound. Alright, can we skip this? Guess not. Oh, there it goes. Alright, let's give this a try.
Enter your name.
Enter my name. Let's just be DSI Rob.
Make your choice.
I guess this had online multiplayer. That's cool. We are solo.
Play solo.
Ah, so close. That had me a little excited for a second. Oh well. Let's get out of here.
Make your choice.
I choose for you to go away. That volume indicator is interesting. I'm pretty sure there was a keyboard shortcut for that, or one of those hotkey buttons, that my Microsoft keyboard does not have. What else do we have? What's in Brainstorm? Chessmates. I'll take a look, but I definitely can't get into that. That is a time sync. It's not going to run anyway. Everything needed CD-ROMs back then. What's in Microsoft Multimedia? Microsoft Bookshelf. Let's see what they have in there. Well, well, well. Who would have ever guessed? Needs a CD-ROM. But wait, there's more. What is Super Voice? I'm guessing some kind of phone software. Or something phony. Yeah, I guess so. You know, I need to get a phone line emulator. I really do. Well, that's strange. The modem's in there. Oh well. Let's get out of here. If I can. Cancel. What is Edios Interactive? Lankhor? Am I saying that right? It doesn't feel right. Official Formula 1 Racing? That definitely needs a CD, but of course I'm going to try anyway. With software rendering. Yeah, I figured. Well, let's see what version of Microsoft Word that is. Good old Word 97. Okay, let's explore that hard drive. And there's that Comcast high-speed internet icon. So these are definitely broadband users. C drive is kind of used. Let's go in there. Let's embiggen this. Let's get some timestamps. We're up to 2002 so far. Oh, 2004. Let's see if there's anything more recent in the Documents folder. There is not. Somebody had to be into this thing. I can't imagine that battery holding a full charge for 20 years. Let's check that Windows Update folder. Okay, we're at 2002 in there as well. Okay, yeah, I've been poking around all over the place, and 2004 is the newest file I can find. That's ScanDisk log, so I guess we have a winner. I think it's time for me to write a program to scan through the hard drive for the newest date stamp. Not even sure what language I would write that in. Python and PowerShell are definitely out. I need it to be something that runs on all old systems. Alright, that floppy drive had a pretty healthy sounding initial boot seek, so let's see if it works. And yes, it does. Perfectly happily. Let's see if it handles a copy. 15 hidden files. Oh, okay. I guess we're only copying 600 kilobytes. And it copies successfully. Let's see if we have such luck with the CD drive. Opens quite happily. And it is working. Got the auto run. Alright, let's get out of here. Exit. Keep exiting. AOL does all they can to keep you. Look at that. How dare you? Okay, well, as tempted as I am, it's going to be quite a project to get a Cat6 cable out here right now. And I'm 90% sure it won't connect anyway. So let's drop down the DOS mode and check out the hard drive. Oh, that's sound scheme. What are you doing? It's not doing anything. Okay, well, I guess it froze. Oh, maybe not. It's like weirdly half frozen. Can you keep going? No, it ain't having it. That's interesting. What's holding up the works? Win old AP. Can I kill it? Well, that didn't help. Let's just kill it all. Oh no, it's immortal. Oh, there we go. Kill it. That took a while, but it still didn't help. Ah, screw it. Time for a hard reboot. Oh well, there's that BSOD again, and this time I'm not getting past it. Okay, I guess we're booting up from disk. There we go. Okay, we found some file system inconsistency. Skip undo. Maybe that's the source of our BSOD. Let's see what SurfaceCam finds. Well, I think that's another medal for the medalist. Save for some completely forgivable file system trouble. The hard drive itself is perfectly fine. So now I just want to demonstrate the weird way these things shut down. See, it'll still do the classic AT, it is now safe to shut down your computer thing. There it goes. And then the power LED will go amber. And the CD-ROM drive will still open. And close, of course. And that power supply is still fully on. So it's like a fake shutdown. That is just so funny to me. So now let's quote-unquote turn it back on. And it boots like normal. It's such a faker. The only way to really shut it down is with the power switch. Okay, it's time to clean this thing up. It's covered in this yellow scuzz of unknown composition, but it looks like it should clean off fairly easily. So we're going to start with the old Windex and paper towel routine. Oh yeah, it comes right off. You know, so far that faceplate looks brand new. I don't really see any plastic damage, except the lightest little teeny tiny nicks. Actually, that wasn't even a nick. That was just a piece of paper towel. Seems like this machine was pretty well loved. Even that Windows 98 badge cleaned up really well. It's not perfect, but definitely not bad. Let's see if we have as much luck on the top. And I'd say that turned out really well. There's a few little paint chips on the side there, but overall it's actually great. This machine was definitely treated right. This is definitely one of the lucky ones. A real survivor. Fully functional and it's in great condition. You can't really ask for more. And it turns out I was wrong about the case being tweaked. It just has really tight clearances, so it's really hard to open. It closed up no problem. You just can't keep a 90s Compaq down. I'm glad these two get to live on, and in such good condition, especially the Presario. A little love goes a long way. Thank you very much to all the wonderful people on Patreon. You're all endlessly awesome. And if this is your first time here, I have many more videos like this, if you want to check those out. If you enjoyed this one, please do all the YouTube-y stuff that the algorithm likes, with the subscribing, liking, and commenting. It really does help, and I really appreciate it. But that's all for this video. See you next time.